Instead of fighting and making trouble, in a time of sickness or some dread disaster, he could stretch forth a hand to you. Oh, life is too short for us to be fighting about who better than who. In the sight of God, man is nothing, so lace up your shoe. Start loving somebody else but you. And listen up, man, check yourself, better check yourself, and if you're living the right way. Check yourself, better check yourself and say, check yourself, sister, check yourself, because today is a new day. Check yourself, sister, check yourself right away. Whoa, check yourself, better check yourself. People living the right way, brother. Check yourself, better check yourself and say, check yourself, sister, check yourself. For today is a new day. Check yourself, sister, check yourself right away. Whoa, look into yourself. Look into yourself, brother. Check yourself and say, don't blame no one for your failure. Look into yourself.
Take a shot and just free up now. You see your problem, just leave up now. Find a girl and start to walk out. Cause only one life you go live, yeah. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping, you don't see how I'm fetting. I the business of other. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm fetting. I the business of other. Hopping out the fed, let's build a vibe. Everybody put their glasses to the sky. Celebration time across the life. Just make it rain for me. Sexy girl, them winding up the pretty little backside, taking a jump when the man come a step side. All the problems, we go avoid them. Yeah. Take a shot and just free up now. You see your problem, just leave them now. Find a girl and start to walk out. Cause only one life you go live, yeah. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping, you don't see how I'm fetting. I the business of other. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping. I the business of other. Fred be going up every weekend. I be chilling with my crew on the grass step. You see the bad mind thing, we no want them. Just keep them far from work. Sexy girl, them winding up the pretty little backside, taking a jump when the man come a step side. All the problems, we go avoid them. Yeah, take a shot and just free up now. You see your problem, just leave them now. Find a girl and start to walk out. Cause only one life you go live, yeah. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping, you don't see how I'm fetting. I the business of other. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping. I the business of other. Shot and just free up now. You see your problem, just leave them now. Find a girl and start to walk out. Cause only one life you go live, yeah. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping, you don't see how I'm fetting. I the business of other. You don't see how I'm moving, you don't see how I'm walking, you don't see how I'm jumping. I the business of other. If you know inside your heart clean, please, I beg you don't study them no more. We're living in a bad mind society. People refuse to grow. Bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you. Oh, no, I don't need you. What all bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you. No, no. Hey, cause everything where you sit down there and gossip, I know already. Your lifestyle toxic, so don't come near me. Everything where you sit down there and gossip. Yeah, I say I know already. Yeah, yeah. I get a vision last night. Humble yourself and act right. When my vocal sit this down, mind something in my brain must ignite. But something don't feel right. Just spread my business like bread knife. Grow up and get wise and don't waste your time. It have a special place for them haters. And it have a special place for them traitors. I walk in hard and you want to remain laid back. You better stay far. Yeah, yeah, bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you. Oh, no, I don't need you. What a bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you. No, no. Hey, cause everything where you sit down there and gossip, I know already. Your lifestyle toxic, so don't come near me. Everything where you sit down there and gossip. Yeah, I say I know already. Never me again. To put my whole trust in a human being. Too disrespectful, ignorant for the day and thing. But I nothing I have life and I'm still living. Don't care what you think, yeah. Well, you're drinking water, but people business you're in. You're running your mouth like sprinter. Like Mikey life is their neighbor. Fake names come like a part of them. They want to know your business, to talk it on the block with a friend. Oh, nah, bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you. Oh, no, I don't need you. What's all bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you, no, no. Yeah, cause everything where you sit down there and gossip, I know already. Your lifestyle toxic, so don't come near me. Everything where you sit down there and gossip, I know already. Yeah, yeah, bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you. Oh, no, I don't need you. What's all bad mind, I see you. So continue moving along. No, I don't need you, no, no. Cause everything where you sit down there and gossip, I know already. Your lifestyle toxic, so don't come near me. Everything where you sit down there and gossip, oh, I know already. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To be a poet, not qualified as yet, but have no fear, I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation, neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. Me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Business. there is a time for everything. And for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind, make sure everything is fine while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause it sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell a ring. If we didn't know, we'd never know yellow would have treated us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. All your projects are stuck in a pipeline, but when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine. We are looking into it. Never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run no race. 5 years is a lot of space. It's just a few hungry people in a place and a few disgruntled grim people with their vexed face.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name, Sheldon Scott, and I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Now 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. We say a special good night to all the listeners joining us via the various mediums. Those of you listening via We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn,
Frenchman can never be wrong.
94.9.
Hold your yellow conviction strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like...
Those of you listening up there in, let me see... Virginia, that's it, nice, yeah. You never know, there may be listeners in Vermont as well. Those of you listening up in Washington, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arizona, although I think my Arizona listeners are actually in Grenada, but I don't know if they left listeners out there in Arizona as well. So I'm saying a special good night to all of you. California.
And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will mislead a lot just before the next.
Hi Kenny. Good night to you, Kenny.
Because it's a long time, Grenada.
And Christopher, Beavis, Alcy, Michelle, Lona Lulu, Stephanie, Jacinta, Eliza, Yolan, Wilma, Anastasia, Angie, Hermina, Jakeem, Sherma, Christine, Dominique, let me see, Denise, Hazel, Janice, Gemma, Gertrude, Abraham, Gavin,
Henry Chaitan, Deborah Laborde, Baby Daddy Fitzroy, Jillian, Bernadette, Anne-Marie, Miriam, Maud, Dave, Good Life, Mayana, Alban, Vanessa, Public Notice, Phyllis. Yeah, saying a special good night to all of you. Let me see. Yeah. Marlin, I'm seeing you there as well. Let me see who else I missed out there. Wilma, good night to you, and Cynthia, all of you on the live on YouTube. And let me see over on Facebook, Cicely, Lucy, Manda, Lynn, Cindy, Veronica, Landon, Betty Ann, Renwick, Amanda. Well, no, that's the other Amanda. Yes, that's the other Amanda. Amanda, Donna, Christelle, good night to you. And let me see, Winnie, you did it. Norma, Cindy, Teresa, Meryl, Red Girl, Edlin, James, good night. Hilda, Jill, good night to you. Shemaine, Desiree, Antonito, Wallan, Laslin, yeah, good night to you. Maudlin, Jillian, good night to Jocelyn, Mavis, Kimmy, good night. Leroy, Claude, Christelle, I like what you're doing. You just go and you just tag everybody to let them know the program starts. Smart. Yeah, Olive, Phyllis. Good night to all of you under the Facebook Live, all of you under the YouTube Live. Yeah.
Whatever, Grenada still belongs to we. Although nothing.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played this one, eh? Yeah.
When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay your tease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret.
Good night to you, Cammy.
Forever.
Mommy George.
Created by the great
Joyce, good night to you.
green grass cease to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow.
Martin and your wife down there in Housing Scheme, good night to both of you.
Bell a ring. If we didn't know, if we didn't
My good friend from Tobago, good night, bro.
treat us so. When you trick us with campaign promises,
Zayla, I have not forgotten you. Good night.
it is. We've waited.
So good night to you, Zayla. Good night to you, Zoe.
You now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration,
Kira, good night to you, dear.
corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. All your projects are stuck in a pipeline. But when asked, how is the country going? Oh.
And folks, same as last night, the phone lines are open from the beginning, 440-7377. You can call in.
No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon. Maybe by
I think everything is up and everything is up and proper tonight.
we now run no race. 5 years is a lot of space. It's just a few hungry people in a place.
And Jenna and Jen and Sherms, good night to all of you. Jerome, Brother Watts, Harrow, I see you in the place, man. Where's Dominic, man? Dominic must be in there somewhere. If he's not there yet, he'll be in a while.
Hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting.
And again, folks, last night we went over some of the information that has been coming out from the schools in relation to registration. And the same problem today. I got a lot more messages, some more messages along the same line again. Speaking of school fees. Again, there needs to be some clarification from the Ministry of Education in relation to this issue. There are many parents out there who are seriously confused because they are wondering that the government has been saying that they do not have to pay school fees, yet still they are seeing notifications that on registration of their child, there are various fees to be paid. Yeah? For instance, in some instances, you're seeing a registration or an administrative fee. There are parents who've been asking, why do they have to pay an administration or a registration fee? If government has said that they've abolished fees, why should they be paying an administration or a registration fee? Yeah? Because if that is a fee on behalf of the teachers who are carrying out the process of registration and so on, they believe that is something that they ought not to be paying. Why are they paying a $25 or a $10 or whatever it is as a registration fee, administrative fee, when the people who are doing the administrative process or the registration are already being paid by the government of Grenada? Just telling you what some of the parents are saying out there. Yeah? In many instances, some have said that they paid for the ties last year. So obviously the tie is not something that you get any and anywhere. So they paid for the tie according to the school, and so they've paid for the tie last year, right? But this year they're seeing that they have a lot of other things. Maybe they had one child that went in last year and they have one going in this year. And instead of just the tie, they realize that there are other fees that they have to be paying. So the government needs to clarify, because if they're saying that they have removed the fees, yet still parents still have to find a 200, 300, as much as as that. Yeah, in some instances it's close to 300. Have to find that those kind of fees to go in and pay when they're registering their child. And remember, you're talking about a lot of people here who are unemployed. Yeah, who are not working. You have many instances of single parent families, and in some of the single parent families, the parent is not receiving assistance from the other parent. Yeah, it ain't no co-parenting taking place there, it's just one parent. And the other parent, we know, we have a lot of fathers here who do not take up their responsibilities, and therefore it all falls on the mother. Yeah? And don't get me wrong, there are some in the situation where they have the fathers and the mothers didn't take up the responsibility too, you know. Yeah? But man is man. We just try and fight up and do what we have to do when it ends up in those situations. But I'm saying that we have these situations that are existing now. And we're calling on the Ministry of Education to clarify a bit what is taking place when it comes to this particular issue. Yeah.
Hoping you'll listen straight, but you now refrain. You now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause you sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises. We won't say a tease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you now refrain, you now refrain. Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay your tease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you now refrain, you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell I ring. If we didn't know, we never know yellow would have treat us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay a tease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you a...
Yeah, sometimes I can't avoid having to take the call.
Recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease.
Yeah, so again, some clarity needs to be given in relation to this issue. You can't be out there saying that there are no school fees and then parents receive notification from the secondary schools that their children have passed to go to, and they're receiving notification that they have to come and pay X amount of money. It is not fair. Yeah, it is not fair. All right. So let me see. One parent is saying here they paid more this year, $215 at one particular school than they did last year. They paid $180. This year they've paid $215 to have their child enrolled at a particular school. So again, we're hearing these stories, and yet still you're hearing from the government, well, we remove all school fees. Yeah? And we were saying, the government has been saying, the New National Party has been saying to what the government has been saying, that if you're removing the school fees, there are various things that those school fees are collected for by the school. And therefore, when you're budgeting in the budgetary cycle, you have to budget so that you can pay the schools for the things that they usually would collect that money for. Yeah? Because the schools are collecting, and you see what they're collecting for the report books, etc., etc., etc. So they're saying, we were saying that if you are going to remove those fees, then the government has to take on the responsibility for that. Also, I'm hearing from many parents that they don't know if it's up or down in relation to the assistance for school uniforms. Some have been told that it's only in the secondary school system. Some are being told it's only in the primary. So I don't know what the true story is. Maybe one or two of you can call and say what you've heard in relation to the school book, the school uniform program. Yeah, we'll get to the school book program in a while. But the uniform program, where parents would receive some assistance and so to get, whether it's a 2 shirts and a pants or whatever for the children, they're not hearing anything about that. There's no information forthcoming in relation to it. And parents who are really, really in need, they said they haven't heard anything in relation to it. So I'm wondering what is taking place in relation to that one as well. All right, nice.
That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow conviction strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire the Imani, less stress on the economy. You are Manchester, whole of the country. You didn't see us down by the Bury when they send SSU to between. Trick us with campaign promises. We won't say a tease.
I think some people are not aware of my schedule. A lot of people message me at this hour.
Strain, but you now refrain. So we
4407377. That's the number to call and get on to the inside.
But the man say he's an asset to the party. And will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they're cloned. And however, I foresee a pretense.
Also, I'm trying to find out. I know, my good friends, it's not a good time to send me a voice note. I cannot listen to it. Some parents are asking about the school book program. What is taking place in relation to the school book program? I honestly still have to look deeper into the budget itself and see what was placed there in relation to the replacement of books and so that have been damaged or lost during the school book program. And if they've added, you're getting more books or so, or if the burden is still more on the parents and so on. So I have to look at the school book program. Also, during the period of the New National Party, there was talk of moving forward with getting the books digital so that the devices that students would be getting, and again, I can't remember seeing in the budget what they have there in relation to devices and so for students. But I was needed to look there to see if they've had anything on the budget in relation to new tablets and so, if what they're going to do is the devices that they're taking from the ones who are leaving school now in Form 5 and in the primary school system, the students that have done their CPEA and are going to the secondary school, and they're taking those devices from them. If they are going to be recycling those devices, if they are going to be using new devices, if they are going to forget about devices totally. I think a lot of information needs to be forthcoming in relation to these issues. Parents have been asking, I obviously can't answer, but parents have been asking these questions.
Hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. By the way, your theme for the next campaign? It can never be about change again. And in what language are you gonna tell people to vote for NDC? In Japanese or Chinese? You better wrap up $1,000 in yellow jerseys for we, or give us everything free as in the days of NNP, or else funeral for NDC. Whatever, Grenada still belongs to we. Although enough things affect us negatively, we are still blessed by the Almighty.
So again, 440-7377, that's the number for you to call and get on to tonight's program.
For this poem is a problematic poem. You trick us with campaign promises. That's the way it is.
Also, another complaint I've been hearing is in relation to the prices of food. Now, for instance, in relation to cooking oil and so. We do know that according to the budget that was read at the end of last year, it was stated that the VAT is being removed from the cooking oil and so on. And all of that is supposed to reflect in a downward trend in relation to certain items. Some people have been complaining that instead of going down, they're seeing some of these items heading in the next direction. Also, there have been instances where there are some items that are zero rated. In other words, you are not supposed to pay VAT on those items. There's a list of items that are zero rated. You're not supposed to pay VAT on them. Yet still, people who are purchasing these items are seeing VAT attached to it by some business places. I won't name the business places, but when they go there are some items, I believe baby formula, I think it's supposed to be one of those items, if I remember correctly, that is supposed to be zero rated, and one or two other items that are supposed to be zero rated when it comes to VAT. Yet still, people are still going, and that's why you need to pay attention to your receipt that you receive. Yeah, get your receipt and to pay attention to the receipt. People have been seeing that they're going to the supermarkets and they're going to some of the places, some of them, not all, that they're purchasing some of these items, and there is still VAT being applied to them by the business places, which ought not to be happening. So you have to be able to double check your bill and make sure that you're not paying VAT on items that are zero rated when it comes to VAT. There's an entire list. I will try to obtain the list of zero rated items so I can read it out on air so you know when you're purchasing those items that they are zero rated. But many folks have been saying, you go last week, you're seeing items at one price. You come this week. When you come this week, you're seeing them at a totally different price. And it ain't going down. It's only up and going. And then by the time end of month, you go and you check again. The price has inched up again. Yeah? So they're wondering what is really taking place in relation to these things. Because remember, salaries are only at a certain level. And even if you got a raise last year, you got a raise this year, and the price of the food stuff is just heading up and up and up. It's just going to, whatever raise you get, it's going to just erode it. Yeah, it'll just erode it. It come like you didn't even get a raise because the price of the food and thing that you have to buy continues to increase. So many individuals are asking what is taking place with that because they continue to see an increase. And again, these are some of the things we expect to hear when we hear our parliamentarians speak to us, when we hear the government ministers speak to us, when you hear the Minister of Education speaking to us, you expect him to explain certain things in relation to these school fees and what is taking place with the school fees. Because I'm telling you, it's not 1, 2, or 3. It's many parents out there are seriously concerned. I'm getting the WhatsApp messages. First thing this morning, I get about 3. All of them in relation to that same issue. Yeah? And they are speaking about it. It is an issue. And as such, the ministry needs to address that particular issue, yeah?
If we didn't know, we never know yellow would have treated us so.
Someone is asking, when are they starting the free bus for school?
We won't stay at ease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease this train.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, Alan, I'm wondering what's taking place with the zero-rated items, because there are items that you know for a fact are zero-rated. Many of them that are zero rated, there's no VAT to be applied to them. Yet still, when you buy them from certain places and you check your receipt, you realize, hey, they charge VAT on that. And not even to say they're charging the full 15%, on these items. Yeah, so you must double check when you go to the supermarkets and the shops and so on.
You trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. All your projects are stuck in a pipeline. But when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine, fine, fine. We are looking into it. We are looking into it. Never mind, never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon, soon, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run the race. 5 years is a lot of space.
And good night to my good friends out there in St. John. Hope you all are having a wonderful night tonight. Committee, all you handle all your business. That's lovely. You know, if we talk about it, we go say when the right thing take place, right? So maybe government finally give them what they're supposed to give them, right? So the thing handled, nice.
You now refrain. You now refrain.
Well done.
Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada.
Yeah, so when we say that if you're speaking to the Grenadian people, they want to know what's happening with these things. Because these things affect each and every one of us on a daily basis. You cannot live without food. You must either, if you're growing and you're only eating what you're growing and what you can catch and that sort of thing, that's one thing. But in 2023 Grenada, we must visit one of the establishments and buy food and so on. And we also have to use the transportation system, etc. And it is rough out there. In fact, I've been in contact tonight, and I'm really feeling for the people on the West Coast, especially with what is taking place. Now, due to the closing time, the time that has been advertised as the closing time for the bus terminus, many of the buses on the West Coast, when they go up, they don't want to come back down because as far as they know, when they get back down, according to what time, the terminus is going to be closed. Because remember, a notice was given that the terminus will be closed at a particular time on a nightly basis during the week from Mondays to Thursdays, a specific time on Fridays and Saturdays. I think it was up to 8, was it, on Mondays to Fridays? Cami, if you're listening, give me a buzz. I think it's up to 8. Many of the buses now on the West Coast especially, so those are the buses that are going up to Guave and St. Mark and St. Patrick. And the situation up until a few minutes ago on the terminal was hectic because you had loads of people there and no buses to bring them up home. So imagine you work for the whole day, you're tired and so on, and you're trying to get home and you can't get home because there are no buses running going up. So I think probably the issue at the time that the terminal closes needs to be relooked. Yeah? The issue of the time that the terminal closes, it needs to be relooked because it is negatively affecting the people who are living on the West Coast, who are even those who are working on the West Coast as well. It affects everyone who has to traverse that area and needs to use public transportation. Yeah? So it is affecting them. So definitely the hours need to be relooked. Also, again, I believe that the Bus Association for the West Coast itself, they probably need to look at how they can come together to ensure that there are always buses for the people that are, because if everybody decide that I'm just going to cut it off at 7 o'clock, or when I go up after 6, I'm not coming back down again. If everybody just does that on their own and just decides that they're not going to be coming down, you'll continue to have these situations that you're having right now with scores of people waiting for a bus, trying to get up to St. John, trying to get up to St. Mark, trying to get up to St. Patrick. And even worse, and we have mentioned this not once, twice, or 3 times, a couple of times well, even worse for those who are working in the hotel sector and living in the south of the island. And then when they're finished work, and we're talking about sometimes after 10 in the night, 11 and so, and then they get a bus that drops them at a particular point, and then have to try to hike now to get up the West Coast. That is very difficult. I've seen many people going through that. I myself, when I'm driving and I'm going up the West Coast, many times you have to give a lift to a person or two. Even on a holiday, you realize, or on a Sunday evening, you realize you pass by, keep left, you see a lot of people trying to go up on the West Coast. So it is difficult, and especially again, with the lack of production taking place right now, when it comes to the Molineer land slippage, many of the busmen, part of the reason that they're not making the trip more than the trips that they think they need to make on a daily basis to at least break even, is that they are tired of having to go up Mount Morris and come down the Jones Road and make the roundabout to get up on the West Coast. Yeah? It's no longer just the few minutes and they pass through Molineer and you're up the road. They have to go up into Mount Morris and make that ring around and come down and so on. And again, we didn't even need to be there, because remember, even the Prime Minister stated it recently, interfering with the hillside in Molineer was not part of the project. They were not supposed to interfere with the hillside. But when they came in, again, thinking they know better than everybody else, you had people that came in, they did their assessment and everything, and they said, this is how we need to do this is the direction we need to go, this is what we need to do. And they came in and decided that how they're going to get rid of that set of people, and they're going to get another assessment and different things, interfere with the hillside now, and now they're endangering houses that were not endangered before. So there are houses to the top of the hill now that are being endangered now due to the work that they have come and done. And by this time, the project in Molineer ought to have been completed if they had done what had to be done in the way that the New National Party had organized to have it done. If they had gone through with it in that way, if they had properly gone forward with it and organized, it would have been done by now. By this time, vehicles would have been passing there, but no. They went and they decided, interfering with the original plan, they're going and do things differently. They've interfered with the plan, they've messed up the entire thing, and now it seems as though the entire project is on a standstill, and maybe they may have to find additional funds and so, because now they've gone into different aspects. Where the initial thing was not to dig into the hillside, but to sort of terrace it and put, the wires and so to keep it in place, they decided to go in and dig into it and different things, and now that came down. All right? So they've messed up the entire thing. Then I was hearing them speaking about they've settled with all of the landowners in the area. That is not true. Come on. You all know that's not true, that you all have not settled with the people, the landowners in the area and so on, some of the people who lost their property in that area. You have not settled with them. Yeah? Because there are outstanding issues with several of them. So don't give that impression. But all of that lends to what we see happening on the West Coast right now. Because bus drivers who knew that they would have passed there, and it would have taken them just a few minutes, and they're through, now they know they have to take that extra how many minutes and go up the hill and around to come out and so, and they just don't want to go through that too many times on a daily basis. So we're seeing now that if you're passing town now, if you're going up on the western coast now, you're seeing a set of people rushing, trying to get, if a bus does come down, you see a set of people rushing, trying to get into it, or you're seeing a situation where people can't get bus at all. So indeed, this entire situation needs to be looked at. But then we know they really care about the people on that side. They don't care about the people on that side, huh? Seeing one of my listeners has just sent in a bottle of oil. Yeah, not cooking oil, but this one is, yeah, you can't cook with this one. Vehicle oil. That was $22.50. It's now $30. Yeah.
Lasts forever.
Don't be afraid. You all send the pictures to me. Let me know. Yeah. So they're seeing that. Yeah, that oil. It used to be $22.50. Now it's jumped up to $30.
I sing one bell a ring. If we didn't know, we never know. Yellow would have treat us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way.
And one listener is saying that what they've noticed is that some of the buses have been involved in graduation. So some of the buses have been hired out for the graduations and so on, and that's probably why they're not there.
Past administration, the cause.
Know that there were several graduations taking place today.
Past administration, chief of.
But again, that's where the association comes in. That if there is an organized body that says, okay, guys, these are the guys on Monday nights and Tuesday nights. These are the guys on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. Friday night, anybody that wants to run can run. Saturday night, anybody that wants to run can run. But we ought to have at least a bus that's leaving at whether it's 9 or whether it's 10 or whatever it is. But to have people stranded on a nearly daily basis going up the West Coast, I mean, we just can't continue like that. There has to be some plan and some strategy to address that issue. I know part of the plan and strategy must include going back to the original plan and getting Molineer done properly. That's part of the plan, because that's part of the major problem for the busmen. They have to go that rigmarole and all of this thing to get through. They're fed up of it right now. Yeah? Had the government stuck to the original plan that was there, that was started under the new National Party, the road would definitely have been completed and in use by now. But they just decide that they want to say it's their project, so you realize what they do. They go and they interfere with things and then say we now have a superior one. So they interfere with the road project in Molineer. The whole thing come and collapse even further now. And then they come and say, well, we have a new plan, and the new plan is superior to the plan that existed before. But we have to find additional funding, so now it's going to take a longer period of time before that road is fixed and open. They interfere with the project up in Seamoon. They ain't telling you that there's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. No, they go and they interfere with it and then come and telling you we now have a superior plan for the project in Seamoon, a project that could have been way advanced by now. But they have to come and tell you, well, no, we have now have a superior plan in relation to that. Yeah? They're interfering with the youth programs. Interfering with them. We're not hearing of people being added to the youth programs. We're not hearing of people gaining any sorts of benefit out of anything that they are doing right now. Yeah? Then they come with the lies about, oh, it's only 400 people. Absolute unequivocal nonsense. Yeah, the same way that you could sell somebody van and all them kind of thing. Nonsense. All right? Yeah, that is only 400 people graduated from the program since when? Now, many people, there are people working in bank, different things. And as always said, I think part of the blame goes on the people who have spent time in programs like the Imani program. They spend their time in the program. They graduated out of the program into a permanent job and so. And they never come back to say, look, I spent time as an Imani trainee before I got this permanent job. I got my foot in the door through the Imani program. And I think that is the failure of the program, is that many of the people that have benefited from the program have never come back to say and encourage others to become part of the program or to show some of the benefits of having been involved in the program. We, all of us, have been involved in not speaking enough about the positive benefits that the program has brought to many people.
In the land, economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man.
There are some people who get their house and who living and everything now in their own house and they furnish their house and everything. And that they've able to do that because they got the start from the Imani, they got a permanent job and different things like that, but you don't hear from them. How many of them will pick up the phone and call the program tonight and say, well, look, Mr. Scott, I was a trainee. I started under the Imani program way back in this time. I spent my time in there. I properly used the opportunity that was given to me and I got a permanent job. And after I got that permanent job, I was able to achieve this, that, the other. No, they don't call, they don't say that. Yeah. So they're helping people with the narrative that they have out there, that the program, you just stick people in the program for this long period of time and that sort of thing.
Grim people with the vexed face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't say it is. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking.
Also complaints, and again, people keep sending pictures, and I don't know if some of them just find my number, but they keep sending pictures again in relation to the bushing, that you're going all over and bush slapping you left, right, and center. And they're asking when would a little bit of the bushing take place in certain areas, yeah?
Of the country, you didn't see us down by the brewery when they sent SSU to between trickers.
And I'm seeing some areas where it's pretty dangerous with the way that the bush is crossing into the road right now.
In vain, hoping you'll lose this train, but you're now refrain.
Imagine you just get a nice ride and thing and you polish up and thing and you go driving and then by the time you reach where you're going, scratch left, right and center.
Remember the man say he's an asset to the party, and will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they
And remember, it's through the same bushing that a lot of people got the money that they used to pay these same school fees that they're talking about there right now, yeah?
come real good.
So maybe they think because as far as they have said, they've abolished school fees, right? They've abolished school fees, so therefore maybe they don't need to do things like the bushing and so on, so people could get the little money to be able to pay the school fees, yeah?
Now refrain, you now refrain. You remember in the Bible, God had a plan for Jonah to restore Nineveh, but who will restore?
Yeah, 4407377.
Lots of
You can WhatsApp call, you can call directly. And for those of you outside of Grenada, those of you in North America, you can call via 347-329-3101.
Here comes Fort Judy and Nancy Payne with $1 million house and brand new car on the scene, while our hungry belly still grumbling. And you trick us with
You see, what I've realized is when something is for the poor and vulnerable in Grenada, or when it's for people in need in Grenada, it's a problem in the eyes of many of them. It's a problem. Yeah? They find, no, you're not supposed to give anything to these people, forget these people and so on. What they need that for? You understand? Call them things like, remember, we have an attorney general that used to call these people and still does needy and greedy. You understand? We could categorize them as needy and greedy. That is the attitude of some of these people. You see them and they say, all the freeness done, and freeness this and freeness that and so on, because see, their bread is buttered on both sides and they still have a slice of cake to eat when they're done. But there are other people there who, due to their social circumstance and situation, are unable to make two ends meet. And as such, you also have to, government also has to have its own initiative of how it's going to assist those people. Yeah? Whether it's the seed program or some other social welfare assistance, or whether it's a training program where you can get those folks from that level up. Because again, and I'm going to go back to Imani here, and look, somebody has messaged me here. Yes, they were Imani and they're doing their own business right now. So they were under the Imani program. They got the opportunity and now they're running their own business. Yeah, and there are many instances of that. Now, and let me see what this one is saying. Right. Oh, okay. All right. Nice. So that's another message from another one here. Right. So I'm saying that we have many, many instances, right, of people who have benefited from some of these programs who are really in need. But the impression that they keep giving, the impression they keep trying to spread out there is that it was just a free for all and people don't need, and then people are just giving them. Not even tomorrow, sometime next week, I'll let you know exactly when. And we will have a discussion in relation to the seed program. We have had discussions before in relation to it, and we will have discussions in relation to that to clarify a lot of the nonsense that's being put out there. Yeah? They didn't even spend a period of time. It was okay for them to put money into their own pocket. But for the poor and vulnerable, yeah, not so much. We have a call online. Good night. Hello.
Good night, sir.
Hi, good night,
Good
caller.
night, sir.
How are you doing?
Very well, and how are you, sir?
I am fine. Yes, you go right ahead.
Do you remember the scripture when Jesus said, when you do things to the least, you have done them unto me?
Yes, I do remember there's a scripture that says that. I can't remember the exact scripture, but I do know there's one that says that.
Right. When the Lord Jesus said, you saw me hungry, you saw me naked, you saw me without a home, and you turned your back on me. And then they said to him, Lord, when we saw you hungry, you naked, you didn't have a home. He was talking about the least. That was the NNP used to do for the least in Grenada. So all these people that's running them out and talking, and all these people who now who just looking out for those above who can give them money to campaign, and they're not doing for the least of the people in Grenada. Oh my God, may God have mercy on their soul. Have a good night.
All right, thank you very much, caller. And the caller is correct. Yeah, what you do for the least of my brethren, you do it for me. And you see, there are many people that are genuine. Are you saying just get rid of all these programs? So who are to dead? Just get rid of all the programs and so. Because remember, when it was to make sure that they increase their salary, they increase it. They didn't go through any consultative process. They didn't go through any assessment. They didn't go through any of that. They just increased their salary by $24,000 a year. Yeah, they just one go. And they had not spent 8 weeks in office yet. They didn't even get a second paycheck yet. But they make sure that after the first one, they ain't collecting that kind of money again. They had to collect at least $2,000 extra a month. Yeah? Then they made sure that when they did that as well, that they did it in such a way that they are paying absolutely not 1 cent in tax on it. Yeah, they're not paying any taxes on it, so they're getting their full $2,000. So they're not paying it because they have it as a traveling allowance. Yeah? So they put it in a way that they don't have to pay any taxes on it. So they get the increase. They could use it to travel, to pay the bank, to do whatever they want. So they've got it. They have it that's in their hand. They're not paying any taxes on it. Yet still, when it comes to give the nurses what they call an honorarium or whatever, they gave them in a way that the nurses had to pay taxes on it. And not only that they had to pay taxes on it, that in some instances, it brought the salaries of the nurses up to the level where they are paying income tax, where they were not paying income tax before. So the consideration, the thought process went into giving themselves $2,000 a month. The thought process went into there of, let us make sure that when we get that $2,000, that we have a full $2,000. That's ours, that we can use, that we can spend, that we could do what we have to do, right? But when it came to giving the nurses $500, just $500, giving the nurses $500, the same thought process didn't take place. Yeah, it was given to them in a way that it brought some of them up to the level that they are now paying personal income tax, and in other instances that they're paying the taxes on that $500. So they're not getting the $500, the full $500, while they are getting the full $2,000. So the consideration is for themselves. So it's okay for themselves to do things like that. Yeah? It's okay for them to jump a plane and jump and they're gone. When they're ready, they up the road. Every time you're looking for the Prime Minister, I tell you, you're flying more than Sukunia. On a moonless night. Yeah? Just now, when he going to board a plane just now, they might pin a wing on him and say, well, listen now, you can fly the plane now, you know. Because the amount you're on, at time you're on, you must have learned how to fly one by now. Because every minute the Prime Minister is gone. And here's the thing, he's gone every minute. And while he's gone, you realize he's going to fundraisers. So he's going to political party fundraisers. So they're not going out there. Yeah? They're not going up there. I'm going to say that one just now, Ronell. Yeah. They're not going out there and look for money for the country. So as Prime Minister, he's not leaving Grenada, go to the other countries and get money for Grenada. So he isn't coming back and say, well, look, we've secured $500,000 for a youth program. Or we've secured $1 million for the a program here that's going to be administrated through civil society. So civil society groups, because for instance, I mentioned the Canadian funding the other night that Grenshop and the Planned Parenthood Association are getting. That is money that they wrote projects for. Not the government get that money, you know. Don't let it fool you because they put out the release through the GIS. It is not the government of Grenada that got that money from the government of Canada. Let me make that clear. That money, the civil society grouping met with the Canadians. They wrote proposals for monies that are available under different projects there. So Grenshop, Planned Parenthood, they wrote their projects and they were awarded that money. So it is not no minister went to Canada and secured that money. I want to make it very, very clear. Civil society, that the parts that still exist, because we know what's going on with some of them out there quiet. But the parts that still exist, they met with the Canadians, right? They wrote their projects and they were the ones that secured that money from Canada. So when you see GIS putting out release that Canada is funding, they gave how much thousands of dollars to different agencies in Grenada and so. Don't think the government had anything to do with it. They had nothing. Zero to do with it. Eh? Let's just make that clear. But again, we have the Prime Minister. So he's traveling and he's out every 2 minutes. He's out. Every time you're looking for him here, he's out. Every time he's gone. And while that is happening, while the Prime Minister keeps going out and out and out and out and out, he is going to political party fundraisers. So whether it's in Toronto, whether it's in New York, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Florida, it's political party fundraisers. What are they doing? They are also putting along with that town hall meetings. So the Prime Minister is there, they're having a town hall meeting. My question is, are these being paid for by the Grenadian taxpayer or by the National Democratic Congress? Yeah, because the questions have been asked in Parliament and really and truly, they're refusing to answer these questions. So maybe we have to ask them here. Because they're refusing to answer these questions. Have you noticed? If he's going to Toronto to a fundraiser and realize, the first thing you see is a note coming out from one of these NDC organizations out there that they are having a fundraiser. Then, after that, you're hearing how there's a town hall meeting. Definitely the state of Grenada has to pay for his security that's going with him. But is the National Democratic Congress paying for the flight and accommodation of the Prime Minister when he's going to these different fundraisers? Because I realize they're having town hall meetings, so I want to know if they're using the town hall meeting as the excuse for the Grenadian taxpayer to pay for the flights for him to go to these meetings. At a point in time last year, remember, after 6 months, they had already crossed $500,000 in travel. $500,000. We've just gone past the 1 year mark. So if we are left to extrapolate that they're traveling at that rate, and I think they've actually increased travel, between then they've spent at least $1 million in a year in travel, which is more than the New National Party probably spent in 2 or 3 years when it comes to travel. And what have they brought back to you, the Grenadian people, for that? Have they brought back something that's going to lower the price of food when you go to the supermarket? Have they come back with any sort of initiative or so? Yeah? Have they come back with any sort of initiative or so that is going to help us lower the price of food? You know, the only people benefit from any initiative that they have had in relation to the cost of living and lowering the price of food? Their rich friends who are the same people who funded their campaign. So when they reduced the freight costs on the port, you and I saw not one halfpenny, if they still used to make halfpenny, not one halfpenny out of the $5 million that the government handed over to the business community, because that's basically what they did. The business community, government lost $5 million. So if they lose it, somebody must have found it, and that was the business community, because they were paying freight at the 2019 level, which means that they had a savings that the Prime Minister was saying pass it on to the average man. But you've been to the supermarket, you've been to the shops. And I'm not talking about the village shops and so on, or the village shops and so they're buying from them van and different things, and so their prices is one different thing. But you did not see the benefit of the lowering of the freight on the port. It was an absolute fraud and failure. Let me say it again. It was freight fraud. That's what it was. That's why you realize they kind of stopped talking about it much. Because the freight thing was a whole fraud. There was no benefit to anybody except their rich friends when it came to the lowering of the freight costs. They said they lowered certain items. You're going, you're shopping, and you, except for probably the sanitary products and so for ladies and so, I have heard that the prices have gone down in relation to those items. Yeah, that the prices in relation to those things have gone down. The condom prices, certain places go down, certain places still the same. Right? But when it comes to things like the cooking oil and so, you realize that the prices have actually gone up instead. So who has benefited? The only people that have benefited are their friends, the same people that fund their campaign and that they are looking to fund their campaign again. I know the wicked thing is some of these businessmen, they're wicked to themselves. Because they know that the business is catching their nenen right now. They know that. There are many businesses who would whisper it to you. They don't want to say it out too loud because some of them shame. Some of them embarrassed. Yeah? They're shame. Because many of them, they are suffering right now. You're going to town at time and you're going to a business place and you realize the owner and the staff and they're like they're falling asleep on themselves. Because nothing much is taking place. In fact, in town right now, if it wasn't for the workers from Republic Bank drumming and making noise outside right now, town would have be asleep. It's them who keeping town lively right now. And this is what? This is the 5th of the month. When people still supposed to have a little, buying a little thing here, graduation and so. So you realize that should make a little bit of activity. But you realize people, they're just not spending as they used to. And look, I have a note here from someone. They're asking me about what is taking place. Probably Spice Mask can answer that one. What is taking place with the subvention in relation to pan. Yes, and I am a pan lover. All you know that, I love my steel pan. And they're asking what is taking place in relation to the subvention for steel bands. When are they getting their subventions? The pan men are becoming upset. And all you know, they don't want them pan men upset. Right. And which is strange though, in that the person who is now in charge of Spice Mass is actually a pan man himself. So I would think that he would make sure and sort out his comrades in the art form. Yeah. So you're having that taking place right now. So friends, there is quite a lot that is taking place that is affecting you, is affecting me. And we are not hearing from the people who's supposed to be telling us about it anything. And then they go out into the outside world and they're trying to spread this message, trying to bamboozle Grenadians living overseas that everything is all well and good and hunky-dory in Grenada. That the streets are probably paved. If the streets paved with gold and waterfall and they're slipping and break your tail, So the streets ain't paved with gold here. And no milk and honey not flow from no tree down here. Yeah? It's pure sufferation that taking place with a lot of people here right now. There are parents. Remember, you had how much people that were working security that lost their jobs. Some were re-engaged, but many of them have lost their jobs. And they have children that are about to enter secondary school or even about to enter primary school, etc. And they have lost their jobs. Yeah? Due to the actions of this administration. I think we have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Yes.
Sheldon, I just have one thing to say. The reason why the Prime Minister cannot you always flying all the time. look at the Bible and look at Isaiah 57 verse 21. And what it said, there is no rest for the wicked. You understand? So that you cannot stay one place too long.
Oh boy.
You understand? So that's what I have to say.
All right, dear. Oh goodness. 4407377. And somebody sent a picture of something that asked me if I ain't seen no picture on the road, my dear, because that can't be a road. Believe me, that is not a road. No, that is not a road. And you see, that's the thing. If they refuse to do the debushing, it is going to affect the roads in the short, medium, and long term. It's going to affect it. The debushing helps keep and maintain the road as well and the drainage. So if they're not doing the debushing and the cleaning of the drains and so, and we end up with a serious, and you realize the weather systems have been hanging kind of low, yeah, we haven't gotten anything really serious to talk about. We get some rain, but you realize these weather systems hanging low. So we could end up with a rain event, a serious rain event. And if they're not cleaning the drains and they're not cutting the overhanging and doing the debushing and so as needs to be done, you're going to see some serious damage taking place in different areas. It's not just about providing the opportunity for people under the program to earn a bread. It's also about maintaining what we have already. Yeah, so there needs to be some debushing and so taking place. Right? And again, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. So yeah, I was telling you all, the Prime Minister is traveling all over. Town hall meeting here, town hall meeting there, town hall other place. Yeah? And we're asking, is it being paid for by the Grenadian taxpayer? We're simply asking that question, yeah? Yeah, we're asking that question, and it's a valid question. All right? Is it being paid for by the Grenadian taxpayer? We've got a call online. Good night.
Hello, good night, Shalon.
Hi, my dear.
What really the Prime Minister go down in Trinidad to do? To plant tree? Because I see he planting tree and all them rest of Prime Minister and them signing documents and he they planting tree. So that's why he taking away money and do? Right. Let me can go on, man. You go meet it up.
All right, my dear.
Okay.
Now, let me make it clear. Because I always try to be as fair as possible. I have my bias, and I ain't giving up my bias. My bias is my bias. I ain't had to hide and say that I have my bias, right? But I like to be fair in relation to certain things. As Prime Minister, you will have to attend certain events. CARICOM is celebrating its 50th anniversary, so I think he would have to attend that. But at the same time, use the opportunity to work along with the other regional leaders in relation to different things. There's the issue of regional travel. Yeah, the issue of regional travel. Various leaders within the Caribbean have been having a discussion. Started reading that article this morning. I didn't complete it. They started having a discussion in relation to a regional ferry service. Yeah, for years, decades, we've been having this talk about a regional ferry service. So it started again. The Prime Minister of Trinidad seems to be against a regional ferry service, at least in the form of a fast ferry service, in like having a twin hull, one of those speedboats that you leave Trinidad and then within a couple hours you're in Grenada. Then from Grenada you go to St. Vincent. Then from St. Vincent you head up to St. Lucia and so on. And you could cover the Caribbean in a day or two. You could cover all the islands going up and down, whatever. So he seems to be against the idea of a fast ferry and is thinking more along the lines of a slower boat that could go up the road on a specific schedule and things like that. I was looking to see if our Prime Minister was in the discussion, but I don't find I see him. Yeah? Because if you're going to meetings like that, yes, it is sort of mandatory that the Prime Minister of your country would attend something like the 50th anniversary of CARICOM and they're having a heads of government meeting. You expect your Prime Minister to be there, right? But at the same token, you expect him to leave that meeting with something tangible for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Yeah? So when he comes back, he ain't coming back just to say, well, I meet the Prime Minister from St. Kitts and me and he talk online and me and the one from Guyana, we went out and have some drinks. Nah, that is not what we want to hear. We want to hear that there is some bilateral arrangement between Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada that's going to allow now for the honey that they're not letting come out from Grenada to go down to Trinidad, that we're now going to allow that honey to enter into Trinidad. Or that Trinidad is going to increase the intake of certain categories of foods and fruits and so from Grenada, that they want all the soursop we could produce. Yeah? So that the soursop farmers and so know that there's something beneficial to them from that meeting. Or that Trinidad has decided that they're going to do fish processing, and as such they want to take as much of the tuna as we can catch. So if we can't send the tuna north, we could send the tuna south. But that's not the discussions they're having. They go in and sit down and drink champagne and lime, take a set of pictures and come back. And again, I've seen a photo online. Of the Prime Minister, and he's having his he's fixing the tie of the Foreign Affairs Minister. And the photo is taken by a Grenadian photographer who we know was sent along with the Prime Minister to his trip when he went. And I hate it on nobody, but tell us what you're doing. Is it necessary for the Prime Minister to have a photographer paid for by the people of Grenada traveling along with him when he's going on these trips? Let me say that again. So outside of having to pay for his ticket, so if he's going to England, that's at least, according to what, it be about $4,000, I think, one way. Yeah, I think it's 4,000 or so. At least that you're talking for the ticket to go to England and so, right? So you're going to England. The security officer must go with him, so they must select one of his security team to go with him on that trip. So there's 2 tickets. You're telling me we have 3 because you're paying for a photographer to leave Grenada and follow the Prime Minister. For what? For what? What is the benefit to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique for having a photographer traveling with the Prime Minister when he's going overseas? What is the benefit to the people of Grenada? And when the opposition leader asks these questions in the parliament, they're giving all kind of rigmarole that they can't answer that question now, or they don't have the answer, and that sort of nonsense. Brothers and sisters, there's a thing called Smart Stream. All government payments are made using Smart Stream. Everything is entered in there. There are specific codes for specific things. International travel has a specific code. It takes them less than 10 minutes to enter into Smart Stream and pull up the international travel and see how much money has been spent on that. By ministry as well, they can do it. But they're trying to give the impression that we are in the year 1987, and that is some of them, you remember them big hard copy book and thing when they're doing logs, so you have to log in everything and you have to sit down and write in, and sometimes somebody there until all 7, 8 in the night because they have to make sure they log in everything properly inside there, and you have to have your nice handwriting and thing, and log. They're trying to give the impression that is still that taking place. That is not what's taking place within the government service when it comes to payments. They know it, I know it. They use Smart Stream. And as such, it is pretty easy to give a rounded figure of how much has been spent in relation to travel. Pretty easy. Even if we're speaking about travel to Carriacou, where people are getting a stipend when they travel on behalf of the government of Grenada and going to Carriacou and so on, and they want to include that or you want to exclude that, that's easily done. Yeah? Because you can grab whatever information you need to grab off of Smart Stream. But they're giving the impression that that is difficult to do. Why does the Prime Minister need to carry a photographer with him? Why does he need to do that? And someone is saying here, a mirror on Barrett Gap. The corner is very bushy and you can't see the corner clearly. So before it have a serious accident, they need a mirror there, please. So Mr. Prime Minister, in the same, and this is your constituency, Mr. Prime Minister, because I know your security officers that surround you listen religiously to this program on a nightly basis. So in the same way, Mr. Prime Minister, that you got the Ministry of Works to place a mirror in Cinnamon Hill for your vehicles going up and down, yes, within the last couple of weeks, that you made sure that you get a mirror there for you So when you're going up to the place in Cinnamon Hill and you're coming down, the people in Beirut in your constituency, they need a mirror too. Yeah? Because you don't have bush. You don't send in gang to cut the bush and all kind of thing there. And I know the gap that the individual is talking about for Beirut there. And it is dangerous and it can have a serious accident there. So they need a mirror there. All right? So the people in Beirut, they've just messaged, they need a mirror there. Okay? All right? So in the same way that in the last couple of weeks that you make sure and you get a mirror in Cinnamon Hill for when you're going and you're coming down, nice. Get a mirror for the people in Beirut. All right? 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program.
To roots, remember we tradition for this Kambule, Jambalasi ruling this time. Yes, we everywhere, taking it from.
My good friend Marilyn says, while Pan looking for subvention, Jab must play, huh?
We breaking all rules with fun, picong and rhyme. If the campaign didn't pass in the yard, they wouldn't have say.
And just in case some individuals have questions in relation to the person that was stabbed on the terminal, they are alive. They are alive. You see why I had to stop the person the other night when they go to say certain things? Nah, the person is alive. Yeah, they wounded. They didn't even have to stay overnight at the hospital and so. Nice, yeah, they stitch them up and they send them out. So they are alive. All right, nice. Police doing their work in relation to the thing. So, I mean, why? I mean, okay. I see Prime Minister Mia Moore Motley, when she's traveling, she travels with a media person. She has a media person that's attached to her and travels with her and so on and goes around the world when she's doing her speaking engagements and different things like that. That individual carries their camera and everything, and they do little productions that they send back to Barbados and so on, and they do different promotion and different things like that, right? I'm not sure if that individual is paid for by the government of Barbados or if she's paying that individual or if the Barbados Labour Party is paying that individual. But I'm saying here in Grenada, we seem to have a situation where our Prime Minister is traveling with his own cameraman, and I'm asking, is that necessary? Why?
We vex, we don't vex, same damn thing. We talk, we don't talk, same damn thing. We walk, we don't walk, same damn thing. We pay, we don't pay, same damn thing.
Also, questions coming in again. What is taking place with the program for adolescent mothers? All right, so it was moved to Lucas Street in National Foundation building, and the project to repair PAM is still in discussion. So they're wondering what is taking place. What is taking place in relation to the issue with the program for adolescent mothers? That song, yeah?
Suicide on the increase, the drug trade is big business.
Come on, within the last year, have we seen any minister come back to Grenada, have a press conference and announce that they've secured funding or they're in the process of securing funding for any project? Yeah? In fact, I was listening to the 1 year report. And in particular, when it came to the Minister St. John, I don't know if GIS realized what they were doing, but they were making fun of the fact that the Minister for St. John is always on a plane, always out of Grenada. And then they were unable to say that they had secured, and I'm telling you, climate change is a hardcore ministry. You may not understand that, you may not know that, but that ministry, there's a lot of money that is available for climate change, especially as a small island state. Yeah? A vulnerable state. Because our carbon footprint is very low. We don't do the pile of pollution. The bigger countries do it. And therefore, they are the ones that are funding, because they have to help clean up the mess that they're making. So there are billions of dollars available out there when it comes to climate projects, right? And the person in charge of it is a Grenadian. Yeah? The former Minister of Climate Change under the New National Party. He is the person in charge of climate change under the United Nations. And he had several projects in train. But instead of following up on those projects, instead of making sure that you follow up on the strategy and the plan that had been approved and was going forward under the New National Party, they decided to just go in and jump plane and go all over to say, well, I attended this meeting and I attended that meeting. Who cares if you attend them meeting and them? If you attend the meeting and you come back with something for the Grenadian people, is one thing. Yeah? There's money under climate change that you could go and you could get for the community of St. John. You can get assistance for the fishermen on the lands. You could get assistance for all these different people. But they come back only with pictures and memories. We have a caller online. Good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Shalom. How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine, man. You go right ahead.
Yeah, man. You've been asking the question about the photographer taking a picture with the Honorable Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you also correct that from time to time, Prime Ministers will have photographers, vloggers doing their thing because we're in the age of technology.
But
in the
not,
case of the White
not,
House,
but, no, hold on, but not traveling with them?
Yeah, right. So, in the case of the White House, I remember there's a guy called Pete D'Souza. I think he was dealing with Obama. And I think there's another, he did also George Bush, W. Bush, right? And he was hired by the White House. So he has to document the president, right? You guys know who the president was. What I'm seeing happening with this Prime Minister, he's trying to emulate that. And you're seeing the photo going behind him every time. And yes, the question is very viable because if that person's name is not on the list as being paid by the state, or if we ask the question through the opposition leader, we will not get the answer, but we're not getting it still. So that's a very interesting question, and we need to get that clarified because our taxpayer money is not for glamorization of our Prime Minister. We need to see what is happening there.
Well, I've said it in the instance of, for instance, I've interacted with the Prime Minister of Jamaica on several occasions. In fact, not just this Prime Minister, but I think the last 4 Prime Ministers of Jamaica, I've interacted directly with them. I never know these people to be traveling around with a cameraman with them when they're traveling to a foreign country and so on.
Yeah.
A security officer, and that is usually it. You know, and they are the Prime Minister of a large country like Jamaica, multi-billion-dollar economy, that sort of thing. Yeah, and they don't see it necessary to travel with a cameraman everywhere they're going. Trinidad, Dr. Keith Rowley, he travels, he goes different places, and so he doesn't carry a camera crew with him also. He doesn't do that. But this Prime Minister is traveling and he wants to carry not only a cameraman, you know, he's going with a cameraman, an administrative secretary, is that what they call them again? The secretary, whatever they call, senior administrative secretary, assistant or whatever it is, traveling with all these different set of people. Just now, you want your own plane too?
Right. So, Shalon, this is my point. So he's traveling with people, in my opinion, I could be wrong, that is in the NDC hierarchy. He's not traveling with PS or somebody that's lower than the PS. He's traveling with people in the NDC base. And that, to me, it is cornering of our funds, right? This picture that I saw with this guy fixing Brother Andal's tie, nothing wrong with that today. I have no concept about that.
That's not the thing with the picture for me. The thing for the picture is who took it and what they're doing there.
Right, but what I want to see with that picture next is Mr. PM. I want you to fix Brother Lennox Andrew tie. When you're in Parliament talking, go across him, and just like how you fix Brother Andal one, fix that one. Because Brother Andrew does be in the Parliament with his tie over his shoulder. And I have no qualms about it. I don't like it. I don't know why the Speaker of the House does not address that. That is not the quorum for the people's business in the House. And Brother Andrew, Minister Andrew, should know better and show some respect. I will keep talking about it. until they get it right. They may not get it right. They may not ever at all, but I will talk about it. But anyhow, we see what they're doing. They're squandering. And to the minister in St. John's, the MP for St. John, always on a plane. And you rightly said, the person that she's traveling to meet, or whoever she's traveling to meet, was the former Minister of Climate Change and Resilience and what have you. She's not engaging this gentleman, and I don't know why, and there's nothing happening in Guelph as far as I'm concerned right now. All the functions of this seems to be going on the wayside, and they seem to be absent every given time they get. They're going on a plane. Like, first time they travel in this country, and it's like a toy. So running to the area is like a puppy show. Let it continue. Time must be longer than twine. Story end, why I been, and I shall learn.
All right, my brother. Yeah, and I'm saying, okay, is it necessary to have, because if you're carrying all this team with you, so you're carrying a photographer, and then you're carrying executive secretary, and mind you, when they are announcing the delegations, when they are giving the release, they are not mentioning these people, huh? They are not mentioning these people, but they have to pay for a ticket, accommodation, and per diem and so on for these individuals. We have a call online.
Hey, Brother Sheldon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay, man. Okay.
All right.
Brother Sheldon, I think I don't understand why the Prime Minister say that he want Grenada to get one plane, or the one plane.
Yeah, most likely.
I understand that now because he know what you're saying.
Nutmeg one.
Right? Because the amount of travel that he taking, he and the ministers. I think that is the reason that he asked. He said you want going to have the one plane to travel. Right? Because you're traveling. A pilot doesn't travel regular. So you got pilot which may go somewhere, do something, and they go on to make a route, and they may take a 5 hour day before you travel again. But the Prime Minister traveling, yes, we know a Prime Minister had to travel, so you have to travel so now and then, right? There's some things, right? But every time something hard, this Prime Minister to be in the country to address certain situation, he run away from problem, right? Look at you have the problem with the crime in the country. Look at Fisherman Body. Both the Prime Minister and the Minister of the Parliamentary for St. John, they are away. They are away. Right? I know, like, we still have the Maroons in Jamaica. They run away to the mountains. So I know if we still have Maroons here, run away from Grenada to go to other country. Brother Sheldon, Grenada right now in a state of chaos because we want someone to address the situation in the country of what is going on and what could be done to help curb the problem that the Grenadian people are going through, and nobody saying anything. Minister of National Security, no address. Advisors, I don't be advising the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister they refuse to address. Right? Because he said that the government at the time before the election, they want to face the media. But if you check what going on, everything that he accused someone the government before, they're doing worse. They're doing worse. Look now, NMP will be on program having press conference, everything, but they're free to have. And whenever they have, the Prime Minister must be there. But NMP could have a press conference, and the leader of the opposition must be, because they are capable men that know how to hold a press conference and answer questions. But whenever a press conference had to be held, and the Prime Minister must be there, because he has no faith. Because one of the things that he said, that to elect his candidate, you have to have good quality. You must be someone that have a proper education. I mean, you must be somewhere up there. Brother Sheldon, when I look at the candidates that run the election for NDC, look at them. All of them, they are broke. Some of them in business, and they can't manage the business properly. They own people, right? Some of them who call themselves pastors, they're fake pastors, because if you are two pastors and one pastor, and somebody do the wrong thing, you should stand for what is right. Stand for what is right. Because, a lot of people don't speak God, talk about God, but the action is totally different. Brother Shelley have one.
All right, my brother. And I know someone was trying to reach me a short while ago via the WhatsApp. And you know, sometimes I like to call them back. So let me see if I could call back the individual. Let me just make sure here it's cleared. And let me try and see if I can call back who was trying to call me on the WhatsApp. All right. And meanwhile, folks, 440-7377. I think I have the WhatsApp caller online. Good night.
Yeah. Hello, good night. Shalom, good
Hi.
night. How are you?
Hi, good night. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You know something, the Prime Minister and his ministers and his colleagues, they are struck, they never thought. They can't handle Grenada. So they reach in a position where they're grabbing. They never thought they would reach in a position like that. So they're behaving unusual. No, that's not the behavior normal, but because they reach in a position, they carry on and they do all kind of things where they never thought. They struck a life. Bye. Have a good night.
All right, my friend. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. And that's the thing. It comes across like never thought. But you see, while that is happening, remember, you've removed money. You say that's how you're trying to create savings. So you've removed money from people under the seed program. There is no possible way that you can say that's how, well, oh, it's oh my goodness, this is disgusting. Yeah, there's no possible way that you can say that how it's the new National Party, remove it. You remove it. Yeah? You were in office. You had to budget it for 2023. You promised in the budget presentation that you did budget for it in 2023. And then you took it away. Yeah? So there's no way you could accuse the NNP of taking it away. You removed that 150 from people because you're saying you need to have savings there. But while you need to have savings when it comes to things for the poor and vulnerable and for people who need, when it comes to savings on your behalf, instead of giving them what they need to get, at the same time, you are making sure that you spend more when it comes to your glamour projects. We have a call online. Good night.
Hey, Shalom, good night.
Hey, sir.
They never thought, man. But don't worry. I'll pray by email.
Okay, my brother.
All right.
All right, thank you. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And I'm seeing a serious situation down at the Camahorn Park. Now, the toilets there are leaking. And the water is actually going into the roadway. And so from the toilet, not the bathroom, the toilet, the water is running into the walkway. It's onto the grass. You're seeing the toilet paper and all these things running there. So please, Mr. MP for the South or to whom it may concern, please try and sort out that situation. That situation when it comes to the toilet down there in South St. George, at the Camahorn Park, at the bathroom that's down there on Granans Beach. All right? Nice. Please try and sort that one out. All right? Nice. Beautiful. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside.
We love honesty. With it we must succeed. How can we grow without our basic needs? If you change your course, here could be paradise. Why strangle the hopes by trying to build on lies? If the taxman didn't pass in the yard, they wouldn't have said, oh, me mud bad, Mr. Finance, no pass in the yard. We working for little money. You take it back as you give it. You ain't free a city. I know you kill me with the death levy.
And yeah, I was telling you all about the situation with that the toilet down at. In fact, let me show you all what I'm speaking about. And this is the situation with the toilet down there at the Camahorn Park. This is the, my goodness. So you see, that's the bathroom at Camahorn Park. And this is what's happening there. That's the pipes and so on. And that's the water that's running out from the toilet into the walkway down there. All right. So please, Mr. You see, they ain't looking too well, toilet paper and all kind of thing. And I want to, you could guess what the other item that you're seeing there is. I hope it wasn't eaten, right? Nice. Yeah. So that is what is happening there. So please, yeah, try and sort that out now. That is we world famous Granans Beach, this thing down by us. So all you better do all you have to do and does it now. All right? Nice. Beautiful. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good morning. Good morning. Good night, Sheldon.
Good night. Good night.
I heard the gentleman just talk about the tie. Let me go back a little bit, if you don't mind. Give me a minute, please. During the campaign, you heard the Prime Minister talking about, saying Pity Matney, Carriacou, and Grenada. I want people who is spiritual to understand that term, what he was using. Again, in the campaign night with the candle night, he called on, who did he call on? A man to help them. He said, we need he to help us. I never know people just call on man to help you. I know on God in such a situation. And the man showing his tie behind his back. This thing has spiritual implication, you know. So people who have spiritual eyes, ask them what was the meaning, why the Prime Minister was turning Grenada upside down, why he was calling down Bishop instead of God, and why this man keep showing his tie behind his back. Thank you. Good night.
All right, my dear. I don't know why the man showing his tie behind his back. Poor me, Papa. So again, folks, yeah, Pumpkinville, yo, yeah, handle that scene down there because I ain't looking too righteous and all kind of thing on we world famous beach, you understand? Yeah, they ain't looking too righteous down there. You can't have them kind of thing taking place on we world famous beach. No. Look, people sit down there eating thing and water running down into the road, you know? Yeah, people might be, and you come off the beach and thing, usually you're barefoot. Yeah, when you come off the beach. You ain't looking to put on shoe and thing, you're walking through that water. Jesus Christ. You're walking through that. So all you going down, they just know what's going on, eh? All right, yeah, all you take it easy. Nice. So Pumpkinville, yeah. Guts and belly, under the scene now, yeah, you understand? Yeah, and as soon as possible, yeah, do that kind of speedily. All right, nice. Guts and belly, handle. Nice, good. Right, 440-7377, that's 440-7377. You can call and get in onto the program. Yeah, disgusting situation, man. Yeah, that needs to be sorted out, brother. Yeah, no, all fun and games aside, all joke aside, that needs to be sorted out. All right? And ASAP. Because you have children, especially now, who are going down to the beach and they walk there barefoot through this thing. Yeah? Other people visiting the beach and unknowingly would be walking through there barefoot. Yeah? So come on, we need to have that one sorted out. All right? Please? Nice. Good evening.
How are you, Brother Sheldon?
I'm more than good, man.
I always listen to the program, but tonight I had to call.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I had to call tonight, I thought it had two persons that own the Camahan Pack from the NDC.
Well, I don't know. Oh, yeah, in Shooter, we don't own there. Wow,
yes,
so I wonder who we have to get to fix that because we don't own Camahan Park?
No, because they said it was for sale and they sell it. And they're doing their best for the NNP to sell it. So where is them today?
I don't know. Maybe they want to camp there again, man. They want to camp again.
When I look at it, I'm surprised to see that. You know, I go on the beach every morning, but I go on to the top end, eh? I don't go on to that side. I just go. You know where they have the dome side up there?
Yeah, where the dome used to be, yeah.
And I go up there and I build up. But I don't know the reason why he doesn't give me to go on that side of the beach.
Yeah,
but it's very ugly. When I look at it, I say I must call and say something because I know these people the way they used to be talking about the Command Pack, they had to get this and that. So why they don't say this now?
We might have to ask Ray and Jude Bernard to Ray and Jude Bernard might be able to help. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's we that own it according to them back in the we don't own it, so maybe somebody else that own it in GA. So I wonder who we really had to call.
Well, I think right now they are in power and they're supposed to have all the papers now saying who we sell to.
Yeah, all the documentation should be there.
Yeah, they should have the papers because they say they sell it.
My goodness, but that needs to be, that's a issue that definitely needs to be addressed quickly. Quickly, post haste, because it's a health concern. It's a health concern, and it's on our world famous Grandans Beach. That needs to be addressed immediately.
Yeah, but and I hearing something about Judas Jude.
Mm-hmm.
I heard, I don't know if it's true that they went into they took the government to court. Remember the teachers when they walk out and work with the NNP?
Yeah.
And I heard that they went to court twice, and they lost the hearing.
Yeah, they did lose the case.
The government should come back now and pay the people this money after Judas and them knew that they lost the court.
Well, here's the thing, my brother. The government paid that money even before the final judgment was released. Even before the final in other words, they didn't even wait for the court case to finish. Government just went ahead. The NDC government went ahead and just pay. They didn't say, well, let's wait until the end of the case and then if government loses, we'll settle. And even if government wins, we'll just get an arrangement with the union and pay them. They just ignored the court case totally and they paid. Yeah, so what you're hearing is not allegation, it's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the truth, my brother.
I just listening, and I wonder why these things should be going on and nobody talking about it, and it was done.
Mm-hmm.
So that is stating that this government have no respect for the court.
But they don't even have respect for themselves, much less, my brother. They don't even have respect for themselves.
All right, well, have a good night.
All right, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right. 440-7377. Zayla, you gone and sleep yet? Nice. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. So Pumpkinville, and the scene down there, man. I think it's that boy. Yeah. I plan I was going beach in the morning. Hello. Hi, good morning. Good evening, sorry.
That is Ray Robert. You have to call to tell about that water running in the road there. Because if you hear go and speak to bed and my foot catch any ground inch, I'm going to swim.
Okay.
Because he's the one who say the cell come and pack.
So in other words, it's not Pumpkinville not Minister Williams that has to fix down
Belly
there?
and got we think it, but Belly and got to join in it too.
We got to find Brother Ray?
Yeah.
All right, my dear.
Okay, right.
Thank you so very much.
Right.
Yeah, we have to find out too, boy, because that is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. It needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed post haste. Yeah, it needs to be addressed. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Good night. I was calling to tell you, call Ray Roberts in truth. Let Ray Roberts go and fix it. And you know, long ago he had a song that was playing all along. Take warning. You better take warning. Let your light shine bright. Respect your fellow men as you should. The evil that men do, leave after them. The evil today will light up their tomorrow. So do good today and your sorrow. So that is what you have to do. Thank you.
All right, my dear. 440-7377. That's the number you can call and get onto the inside. All you fix the thing down there. Right. Yeah. You understand? Because all you finding money to do all kind of thing. Yeah. Glamour project. So travel all over the world, carry this one, that one, all kind of thing. You hear delegation going to Canada, you didn't hear nothing about the attaché or whatever she named, Miss Andrea St. Bernard. Right. All of a sudden you see she on stage in Canada.
Yes.
Hello, good night.
Yes. Good evening, Sheldon. This is Darian Phyllis. Good evening.
Hi, Darian. How are you?
Good, not bad. Or should I say family? I want to thank you. greatly for, we met with Graceland and were able to give away some items to the mother country, Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique.
Lovely.
So thank you for that heads up.
Nice, beautiful.
We had a glorious time. We even came in contact with a Guavarian, such as yourself. So we're meeting with gathering family all over. So it's fantastic. We killed two birds with one stone. We gained a family member, and we gave some great things to the cause. Thank you, Sheldon, so very much.
All right, and thank you so very much for being interested in assisting your homeland. And we hope to see you home soon.
Yes, God willing. And I want to say a quick thing. I know you've been praying for us. My mother and I, the 7th of July, we're heading for our appointment for our housing case.
All right.
Please put a special blessing, for that day to see that God, what can I say? The outcome is to spiritual justice, what is right and fair and just. We pray for that.
Of course. And the prayer warriors are listening, and believe me, the prayer warriors are at work.
Thank you. Mommy, just say a quick word. Mommy wants to...
Thank you so much, Sheldon, for the prayers.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very, very appreciative of everything. Thank you.
All right, my dear.
That's Mom.
Okay,
thank
lovely.
you, family, and thank you, Sheldon. Okay, my brother. Have a good evening.
All right, same to you.
And if Graceland is listening, good hearing from you. And shout out to her and everybody else. Stay safe. And much love for the island. Much love.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so very much.
Take care. Okay,
all right.
Bye-bye.
Yes, and I can guarantee you Graceland is listening. Knowing Graceland is listening. All right. 440, and again, thank you. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. So I think some of you might know the find Brother Ray. So yeah, find Brother Ray and Brother Jude and tell them look what's going on, because so they could talk to the owners to come and sort out the problem, right? Nice. So they could talk to the owners to come and sort out Cameron Park, because I remember them fellas say the place sell. So they could probably find who the owners are and try and sort out that problem. So when we pass in, we don't end up getting grongage or some kind of infection in we foot when we pass in to go to or come from the beach, right? Especially if you park up and you come out from the seawater and thing and they say, well, you want to wash out this. Next thing you say, you want to wash out the sand from your foot and all kind of thing, and you use the wrong water. Oh, God. 440-7377. That is the number you can call to get onto the program. Tomorrow morning, I'm hearing the clash with Mosquito Man. I hear all you having clash and thing anymore. You and Prince and thing having clash. I know what kind of clash all you having. I know if it's a song clash at all, clash, what kind of clash. But all you having clash in the morning. Yeah. Let me see. So, I can't say that part. Some messages I just cannot read on air. 440-7377. Oh, so it was alleged that he heard that it is alleged that young Mitchell was told about the judgment before by one of his legal colleagues. He was told about the judgment, even though it wasn't released officially. He was told that that is where the direction the judgment was heading. So that's why he rushed and paid the doc salary before the judgment came through. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night to everyone on the
Doc,
program.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing good.
Right.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to commend you and all of those who participate and make such meaningful contributions to your program. And I always like these programs where the people get an opportunity for their voices to be heard. I've been in and out listening, and I didn't hear you announce our meeting tomorrow night.
I actually forgot, huh? But how come Cliff, man, he does usually be on it today. He does call and remind.
I know, but I thought, did somebody call? Did he?
He called yesterday.
And I realized the program is coming to a close, and I haven't heard anything, because I just sent my greetings quietly. I was having a little computer woes. I sent it more than once, and then I see all of a sudden it popped up. Anyways, But we in St. Mark will be doing a town hall, an open air town hall meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And it would not cost anything of significance. Maybe one or two little logistical things that we'd have to meet, but we'll not be spending the nation's money on that town hall meeting, but we'll be meeting with the constituents of St. Mark, and we'll be bringing messages to others who we would not meet, but are within hearing distance. And so we're going to Hero Square because that area around there is a thickly populated area. And so through your medium, I'm sending out an invitation to everyone, come and listen. But we will have a session which will give persons an opportunity to air their views, to ask questions, to agree with us or disagree with us. It does not matter. When you speak the truth, you don't. It doesn't matter who agree or who doesn't agree, because truth doesn't need anybody to agree. But it needs people with an open mind and an open heart to listen. We're not going to play politics. We're just going to talk about the situation that is prevailing in our country, and give persons a chance to air their views and ventilate a bit, and to see how we can move forward to assist each other in our community, to look out for each other, and to ensure that people know the facts, because some people are counting on the short memory kind of syndrome. So we do it to you in 2008, the same lines, and then 2013 you realize, so you did differently, and we came back again with the same lines. We did not even embellish it. It came almost the same thing, but it seems as though some people had forgotten, and there were young people who had not experienced it. I remember when we were told that Hurricane Ivan was on its way to Grenada, some of the younger persons said they never experienced a hurricane, so they would like to experience a hurricane. After Ivan hit us, I did not hear anybody say they would like to experience it. So I hope the turmoil, the difficulties that we're undergoing in this country, in health and in other areas, I hope people take note and they put those memories in some corner of their brain where they never will forget. And when the right time comes, that they will make the right decision for themselves, their families, and for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So we're just going to be meeting informally. We're going to be speaking. The principal said he's coming. Brother Prince James will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you always have to do babysitting. And I'm still enticing you to come up. Still waiting at some other time that you can come.
Yes.
But the thing is, as good as your program is, not everybody listens to your program.
Of course.
As good as Prince James' program is, not everybody listens. As good as Real FM, and so on. All of the different media houses that are opportunities that would bring the facts to people. And so we want to do our bit to take it to the streets. This will be our first meeting. We are planning to do some more as the situation warrants. So good night to you. Thank you for this opportunity. And keep up the good works. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so very much, Doc. And during next week, I'm inviting you on air with us for at least a half hour to an hour. In fact, I think a half hour good. We need an hour next week. So one of the days during next week, we would like to have you on so we can speak on various issues.
That's what it's going to cost you. You have to talk that one in private. So good night to all of your listening audience, and I hope everybody have a good night. And in spite of the troubles, let us let us be aware and let us recognize that God is in control.
All right. Thank you so very much, Doc. And we were speaking there with Dr. the Honorable Clarice Modeste. Yes, so tomorrow, that's starting from 6:30 at Heroes Square. They will be having that meeting taking place there. And you all are asked to come on out. Yeah, if you could make it, make it. All right, nice. We ain't too sure it's going to be brought online and thing, so it's going to be better to be there. All right, the best thing is to be there. Right? So you see and you hear for yourself. Nice. And also, I want to tell you all, not I want to alone, but I am going to tell you all about this activity. And this is a production of the youth arm of the new National Party. It's going to be taking place next week. Well, there are two different ones taking place next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. All right. So it's a 2-day empowerment conference for students, and the speakers there, Dr. Augustine Pancho, Honorable Emlyn Pear, and Pastor Lambert Paul. It will be taking place between 9 and 12, so 3-hour sessions. And on Tuesday, it's going to be in St. Andrew. Tuesday, July the 11th, St. Andrew and St. Patrick. So both of them. It's going to be happening over 2 days. And St. Andrew and St. Patrick, you all are going to be at the arena. So that's Tuesday. Wait, no. Let me see. No, I think I'm reading it wrong. So Tuesday, July the 11th, St. Andrew and St. Patrick's at the arena. So I'm correct. So next week, Tuesday, those of you in St. Andrew and St. Patrick at the arena. And then Wednesday, it's going to be St. George, St. Mark, St. David, and St. John. That'll be taking place on Wednesday. I'll give you all the location sometime tomorrow. Most likely, I'll be able to give you all the location of that one. So it's an empowerment conference. Again, just the other day I was speaking about that one, that we have to encourage our young people in positive behaviors and so on. Yeah? And we don't just talk it. You see, the new National Party Youth Arm is actually doing something to help empower, yeah, and engage the young ones. So Dr. Augustine Pancho, Honorable Emlyn Pear, Pastor Lambert, they'll be having those 2 sessions next week. So on Tuesday, St. Andrew and St. Patrick, that's your day. That'll be at the arena. And next week, Wednesday, St. George, St. Mark, St. David, and St. John. The location has not been firmed up yet, but that will be taking place next week, Wednesday. All right, nice. So looking forward to that one. All right, 440-7377. Could I have enough time to take a look call again? And remember, tomorrow, 6:30, right? Once you're in St. Mark, even if you're in St. John or St. Patrick and you want to come down and be part of the meeting that's going to be taking place out there, the open air town hall. Yes, so it's an open air town hall that's going to be taking place there at Hero Square in St. Mark. Head on out to there. All right, nice, beautiful. I'm going to give you some more information in relation to the youth activity as well as tomorrow. Over the weekend, I'll put up some stuff on the page once we firm up the location for the meeting on Wednesday. And I'll also have to remember to put it on my schedule for Monday to remind people of that meeting as well. Yeah, so 440-7377. That is the number. And I know someone was trying to call me here. I wonder if I have enough time. No, I won't have enough time to call them. Probably if someone calls now, I will have enough time to take that particular one. Yeah. So, and I see all the love is going out towards Honorable Modest LDS. I see that. Nice. Good night to all of you. Yeah, nice. So again, yeah, the thing, don't try and solve down. Yeah, try and fix it, please. For I was going to go, I can't go to the beach morning again down there. I ain't going down there. Yeah, I have my reasons. I ain't going down there again. Nah. Fix that. All right, nice, good, right, folks. I think we're gonna wrap right about now. We're going to wrap for tonight. Yeah, take it at 2 minutes earlier. Taking at 2 minutes tonight. Gonna wrap a little early tonight because I've got to run out. But remember again, tomorrow that meeting at Hero Square in St. Mark. So those of you in St. Mark and surrounding areas, in other words, some of you from St. John, if you want to come up to that meeting, come on up. Those of you in St. Patrick, East and West, you want to come up, yeah, to the meeting as well. right? So that's taking place in St. Mark tomorrow from 6:30. All right. And so, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. And in everything you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to, and we want to be speaking with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you and look forward to engaging with you again tomorrow night on More Talking Points right here from 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, the buzz is on. So yeah, look for Mosquito Man online and so on. Folks, remember to like and share tonight's program. Let me see how much, 72 now, man. Before I come off the air, let me see if you all could get the likes up to 100 before the stream ends. I want to see the likes, go up to 100. And remember to share the program. All right, so both on the Facebook and the YouTube, I want to see the likes start to go up. Nice. Yeah, that 74 ain't looking nice there. And I usually always getting that same amount of people that are singing it every night, Come on, up the likes. All right. So as I said, that's all the time we have for tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. And we'll be going out like this one.